Turns out it can be on the move. We were breathing that day and night. That's when we started using Swiffer. In just a few minutes, Duster captures dust before it gets airborne. It traps and locks dust in one swipe. Yes!
For our floors, Sweeper's heavy-duty cloths easily trap dust, dirt, and hair, locking it in. See you, dust!
And Swiffer partners with the American Lung Association to support clean air.
This is just way out of my comfort zone.
Tomorrow on E.T., a career first for Kane Brown. Only we're on set of his new music video.
And sticking to music, this is awesome. We get to leave you with a taste of Hanson's new track, Write You a Song, off of their new album, Red, Green, Blue. For the full performance, go to etonline.com.
See y'all.
Good night, everybody.
I wanna write you a lullaby, a hush, baby, don't cry, so that when I'm gone, you can sing along. I'm gonna write you a song so you'll never be lonely.
Happening now.
Children found living in filthy conditions. That's what the early reports indicate. What the sheriff has to say about this case coming up next.
Scattered showers and storms are on the radar right now, but this is just the start of rounds of rainfall through Wednesday. Coming up, I'm going to have a look at the radar and your forecast.
And we have a crew on the border following Governor Abbott as he tours the Texas border in Eagle Pass. We have a live update. The news at 5 starts right now.
And let's get right to the radar. Right now, there's just some light rain moving through San Antonio. A few rumbles of thunder here and there, but rainfall only amounting to a few hundredths of an inch of rain at the moment. But as I just said, this is just the start of rounds of rainfall. Let's go ahead and take a look closer to the city right now. Some light rain for Leon Valley, Alamo Heights, Windcrest, Kirby, and the outer loop of 410 there. And then right in Atascosa County, a few flashes of lightning. This particular storm is moving to the northeast at about 20 miles per hour. It could make it to the Elmendorf area. But again, as I said, this is just the start of showers and storms around south central Texas through about Wednesday. As I zoom out, you can see there's more rain to the south and east of Eagle Pass. And as we take a look at the radar closer to Del Rio, you can see that there's another round of storms that's developing there off of the mountains of Mexico. So here's a few things that we're going to talk about in the forecast in just a bit. We're going to talk about how you should plan for rounds of storms possible through Wednesday morning. Widespread 3/4 to 1.5 inches through Wednesday are possible, with some pockets more. And we're going to be watching closely to see if these storms could strengthen and produce wind gusts that would be damaging, and quarter hail, as well as minor flooding issues. All of an updated look at the radar coming up in just a bit.
Weather team on top of it. Thank you, Sarah. Well, also first at 5, a horrible smell leading neighbors to call for help as a case of child neglect unfolding in a northeast side neighborhood today.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office saying that several children were found living in horrible conditions.
This is in the 6700 block of Montgomery Drive. That's where we find our Patty Santos. Patty, what can you tell us about this?
Yeah, the word used to describe the inside of this apartment by someone who witnessed it, who walked in themselves, was rancid. This person was in disbelief at what going on inside that top apartment that you see, and that children were being forced to live in those conditions. Take a look at it yourself. These are the pictures released by the Bexar County Sheriff's Office just a few minutes ago. There is trash, feces, rodents, and other things crawling inside of the apartment. The 3-bedroom apartment, we're told, was full to the brim of trash. 4 children between the ages of 2 to 13 were forced to live in this. One of them, an 8-year-old, told deputies she missed a lot of school because of headaches.
Piles of trash bags full of old food, feces, animal and human in the apartment, insects, literally rats crawling over the detective's feet. We couldn't figure out how it is that kids have been living in these conditions for any amount of time at all.
And tonight we know that a man and a woman, the parents of these children, are under arrest and facing 4 counts of child neglect. We also know that the children have been placed by CPS with other relatives. We have also reached out to Child Protective Services to find out whether or not they had been involved with this family in the past. They could not give us that information tonight. We're going to continue our report tonight and bring you more tonight on the 6 o'clock newscast. We'll send it back to you.
Very disturbing. Thank you so much, Patty. Moving on to more breaking news in Northwest Bexar County. Bexar County Sheriff's deputies also responding to a shooting this afternoon.
This is in the 8100 block of Cedar Knoll. That's out by Kyle Seal Parkway and Babcock.
Our Camelia Juarez joins us now live from the scene. Camelia, we know that one man was shot.
Steve, Ursula, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office say they found a man in his 20s bleeding from the hip in this neighborhood. He was transported to University. Now, at this time, it's unclear if he was shot here or somewhere else. Deputies are still looking for a scene. They tell us the man was being uncooperative, so they're trying to work with neighbors to get more information. But so far, no witnesses have come forward. Deputies say they also look to find information from doorbell cameras, but they've had no luck. Right now, they're still looking for more information and a suspect, and as we learn more, we'll bring that to you. Live from the Northwest Bexar County, Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you so much. We also have an update on a woman who was shot and killed by a San Antonio police officer over the weekend. The woman is now identified as 51-year-old Janet Silva. The officer who fired the shot that killed her identified as Corey Russell, a 3-year veteran with SAPD. Silva died Saturday night after officers were called to a home on Delmore Street on South New Braunfels. According to SAPD, they were called for a disturbance with Silva, who was armed with a knife. She was reportedly fighting with her boyfriend, and at some point, while being confronted by police officers, she refused to drop the weapon, and that's when Officer Russell fired. Silva died at the scene. That officer, along with 2 others who were responding, are all on leave pending the outcome of this investigation.
Turning now to the U.S.-Mexico border on the same day that Title 42 was set to end, Governor Greg Abbott visiting the border town of Eagle Pass for a tour.
This after a federal judge ruled on Friday that Title 42 needs to remain in place for now. Alicia Barrera is in Eagle Pass, where the governor just spoke about the problems border towns are facing. Tell us what he had to say, Alicia.
Well, he definitely applauds the fact that this judge blocked Title 42 from dropping for now. He says that this is a very good thing for Texas. But the big takeaway from today, according to the governor, is that not only does he want to increase the quantity of the border barriers that we do see in cities like Eagle Pass, but also the quality. He also mentioned when it comes to the buses of the migrants we've seen that have been taken to D.C., he says so far there have been 45, and he said, quote, there's much more from where that came from. So we can definitely expect to continue to see that happen, not only here in Eagle Pass, but across the Rio Grande Valley. But take a look at what that border tour consisted of. It started with an aerial tour. There was also a small coverage area there in the Eagle Pass area. He and others viewed the barbed wire and also the shipping containers on the border that were installed, as you remember, part of Operation Lone Star that was last year. And the governor says that razor wire makes it more difficult as undocumented immigrants will walk along the border edge until there is no razor wire to make it through. So what the state wants to do is add, quote, every inch of the border with this razor wire. But he did say they wouldn't be able to do it in federal land or private property. Texas National Guard said currently they have about 42 miles of barrier to protect the border. But even with Title 42 in place, larger groups of undocumented immigrants are still crossing into the U.S. We saw it just this weekend. Last week, we met with Mr. Richard Guerra Sr. He's a proud Texan and a Mexican-American land and business owner in Roma, Texas. His property starts just 1 mile from the border and extends for thousands of acres. He allows Border Patrol to monitor his private land, but with the influx of large groups, those resources may be needed elsewhere, and he fears what may happen next.
The Border Patrol is so spread thin, you know, they don't have enough people. So depending on the location, they'll be able to send so many units there. But what happens is that these guys in Mexico, you know, they're all smart about things like that. They'll send a big group, maybe here in Roma.
But even with so much coverage of the legal battle over Title 42, you might still have questions about where that came from. Coming up at 6, a new KSAT Explains dives into that, the history of Title 42, and those who live there, what they fear or think how they'll be impacted if and when Title 42 ends. And I want to talk about another tactic that we heard about that could come in days in just days or maybe even tomorrow. And that would be adding boats specific that could manage in low water crossings. So stick with us. We'll be back at 6 with more of that information. Reporting live from Eagle Pass, Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alicia. Take a look at this video. Seguin police need help finding more information about the person that you see right there. They're asking Seguin homeowners for help. Seguin police posted on Facebook saying the person in the video has damaged a vehicle on multiple occasions. The video of the suspect quick, it's blurry though. That's why they need help. It's happening in the 300 block of Twin Oak. They say it's usually late at night, early in the morning, so you can help them out by checking your surveillance video for the last 2 months to find better quality images of the video to identify this person, hopefully. If you have any helpful information, call the Guadalupe County Crime Stoppers. That's 1-877-403-8477.
12 vehicles burglarized, at least one home as well. That's what landed 5 people in custody at the Bernie Police Department this morning. Clyde Saunders, would-be victim, told that KSAT that the suspects tried getting into his vehicle early this morning. He says they didn't have any success, but the attempt was caught on his surveillance cameras, so he used this stuff to tip off Bernie police.
I looked on the camera and saw somebody trying to get in the vehicle, but it was locked.
When officers got there, the suspects were still on scene. Bernie police say they were actually in a stolen car. The driver of that car rammed one police unit while trying to leave, injuring the officer with a few cuts and bruises. The suspect got out of the car and ran. 3 were arrested immediately, 2 more arrested later. In addition to the stolen car, officers also recovered stolen property inside.
Check out traffic right now at 5:08. This is 410 at Ray Ellison Drive, and you can see not a heavy downpour, but certainly a nuisance kind of rain right now out there, and that's what we're seeing throughout the city. Of course, Sarah will have your weather update coming up a little bit later. Meanwhile, there are less than 24 hours to go till voters have one last chance to decide who they want to see on the November ballot. There are several big races we're keeping our eyes on, which include the Democratic race for Bexar County judge. Democratic candidates Peter Sakai and Ina Menjarez will go head-to-head. The winner will face Republican candidate Trish DeBerry come November. We're also watching the race for House District 28. Both parties are in a runoff, with Congressman Henry Cuellar fighting to keep his job. He's up against Jessica Cisneros on the Democratic side. On the Republican side, it is Cassie Garcia against Sandra Whitten. You can take a closer look at the other races on the ballot. They include Attorney General, Land Commissioner, much more. Head to KSAT.com and click on the Vote 2022 section of the News tab. Election Day tomorrow. Polls open at 7 a.m.
Is it time for a smart speaker? There are some new ones on the market.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the newsroom. Not guilty. That's the verdict in a capital murder trial we've been following. A case involving 2 brothers, one testifying against the other, and one took a deal while it looks like the other won't serve any time for this crime. Erica Hernandez has that story. Plus, the CDC putting out an alert that monkeypox is spreading, and doctors and everyone else needs to know the symptoms, how it's spreading, and why health experts are saying this shouldn't be like another pandemic. Those stories and more today at 6.
Smart speakers. They're great when you want a sports score, some quick arithmetic, or just a little trivia that has you stumped. They've come a long way since Amazon first came out with the Alexa. So if you're ready to upgrade, 12 in your size Marilyn Moritz has a little advice.
Alexa, add milk to my shopping list. Hey Google, what's the weather forecast for today?
Smart speakers have changed a lot since the first Amazon Echo came out in 2014. Now they're smarter and sound better than ever. Sound quality is important if you listen to music on your smart speaker. The second generation Sonos One is among the best sounding speakers in Consumer Reports ratings. It's also compatible with both Amazon's Alexa and Google Assistant. If you'd prefer a smart speaker with a screen, the top performer is the Amazon Echo Show 10. It's handy in the kitchen because you can use voice control instead of your dough-covered hands. But it needs space since the screen uses motion sensing technology to follow you around. Without that space, it could pose a safety hazard.
I put a bottle of cooking oil a little bit too close to it, and when I walked around, the screen actually knocked over the bottle of cooking oil.
If you don't have room to spare, CR suggests the second generation Amazon Echo Show 8, which has a stationary base. If you prefer a Google smart speaker, there's the Google Nest Audio. Some users find it's easier to use than Alexa, and its sound quality is better than earlier generations. If you're just looking for a smart speaker to listen to a podcast or the weather report, you don't have to spend a lot.
Pretty much every smart speaker works the same. That's because the functionality isn't in the speaker itself. It's actually in the servers that are up in the cloud.
For that, CR suggests the fourth generation Amazon Echo Dot. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Taking a look outside with live cam. Yes, there are raindrops on the lens. It's a wonderful sight.
We need more of them.
I know, it's a wonderful sight, but I do kind of feel like the atmosphere is almost teasing us with this light rain out there. We know we need more than what we're getting right now. And the good news is we do have rounds of rain in the forecast through Wednesday. But I want to start right now taking a look at the live radar imagery. It's here on an hour loop. And as you can see, this is very light rain around San Antonio right now. There are a few rumbles of thunder out there occasionally. And this rainfall is not amounting to much. It's amounting to maybe a couple hundredths of an inch of rain in some places. And honestly, this kind of rain is bad for road conditions. The light rain lifts the oil up onto the road, causes pretty slippery conditions out there. So even though this rain is fairly light right now, it is a bit of a nuisance. And again, it's teasing us a little bit, but we're not done with the rain. We've got a few more chances for rain in the forecast. And even though there's only light rain right now around San Antonio, out across Atascosa County and the Wilson County line, you can see that there is a storm that's producing quite a bit of lightning. All of these lines here are lightning strikes, and it could even be producing some small pea to penny-sized hail. It's moving to the northeast at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. So I'm actually going to track this. So Poth, you're in the path of this storm. If it can hold together, it will be dropping some heavier rain, some lightning, perhaps even some penny-sized hail by about 5:50 as here in just the next 45 minutes or so. So zooming back out here, I want to take a look at some showers and storms that have developed off to the west as well, out toward Del Rio. We'll take a look at the radar closer to there. You notice how in Mexico there's some more storms that are developing. These are going to be our next wave of rainfall that could fire off a few showers and storms, some of which could be on the strong or severe side. So I want to show you the big picture here across Texas. You can see that there are patches of thunderstorms all the way from South Texas up to Central Texas. Notice that they're kind of random in their motion. And so this is the kind of rain that we're going to be dealing with through Wednesday. We've got this trough of low pressure in Mexico. This is our first round of rain that is possible later on tonight. And then through Tuesday night and Wednesday, another round of thunderstorms is possible because of this trough of low pressure over the Rocky Mountains. It's going to come with a cool front as well. So that's Tuesday night and Wednesday morning's rain chances. Let me take you through the futurecast. You can see that light rain ongoing right now. And then this particular model does develop a line of storms right around 10 p.m. out west toward Del Rio and Uvalde. And it strengthens it and moves it through the San Antonio area overnight into early tomorrow morning. With that round of storms, we could have some stronger or severe weather, but we're going to be keeping an eye on things. Some isolated storms are possible during the day on Tuesday, but then our next big weather maker will be Tuesday night into Wednesday as this front moves through south central Texas. And notice how this particular model really does blossom those storms and bring some very heavy rain across areas Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, perhaps even some severe weather as well. So yeah, even though the atmosphere is teasing us right now, there are plenty of opportunities to see some showers and storms starting with tonight after 10 p.m. The line of storms could develop and approach San Antonio, and then again tomorrow night. Now looking at Tuesday's forecast for us, isolated showers and storms, a high temperature of 85. In the morning, it could be damp in spots, and then overnight storms are likely. After the tap turns off Wednesday morning, we end up dry and hot for Memorial Day weekend. Temperatures back into the 90s. Steve and Ursula.
Thanks for bringing the rain, Sarah.
That's right. All right, the Spurs, big preparations for their 50th anniversary.
Yeah, they're coming out with 3 separate logos now to kind of guide us through what is going to be obviously a massive celebration this coming season. When we come back, we'll reveal those logos. And also, the Golden State Warriors are 1 win shy of sweeping the Dallas Mavericks right out of the playoffs. And Jimbo Fisher is making national news coming up. Our San Antonio Spurs unveiled 3 new logos to solidify their home here in San Antonio today. This is part of the Spurs' 50th anniversary celebration that will take place this coming season after moving the Dallas Chaparrals to the Alamo City to become the San Antonio Spurs in 1973. The first is the Texas alternate logo, which connects fans across the globe to the heart of the Spurs home. The second is what is described as a shorthand to the city of San Antonio to highlight our hometown, our region, and our state in just 4 letters. And finally is a basketball badge, if you will, which adds the local edge to the on-court look. The Dallas Mavericks are on the brink of being swept out of the Western Conference Finals after the Golden State Warriors were able to steal Game 3 in Dallas last night to take a 3-0 lead in the best-of-7 series. That despite Luka Doncic's 40-point performance and included a buzzer beater at the end of the first quarter to keep the Mavs very much in this game. But Steph Curry was Steph Curry. He lit up the scoreboard with 31 points, including 11 in the third quarter, where Golden State took over with a 78-64 lead, including a step-back 3. And then Andrew Wiggins took over in the fourth quarter, including the dunk over Doncic to help lift the Warriors to a 109-100 victory and just 1 win away from returning to the NBA Finals.
It's going to be difficult, you know. Every game is going to be really difficult. So it's not over yet, but it's not going to be easy. Nothing. The Warriors not going to give you anything easy. So I think we're going to learn a lot, and we're still learning. But, you got to come 100% every game.
You can't give them second opportunities. When you give them second opportunities, Clay and Steph and Wiggins is playing at a high level for them. And they've been here before, so they understand what they have to do, and they did it, tonight.
When the Miami Heat meet the Boston Celtics tonight in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals, they'll do so without Tyler Hero. That's after he suffered a groin injury. That's after he didn't play in the last 8 minutes of Game 3, in which the Heat won 109-103 to take a 2-1 lead in this best-of-7 series. It's after the Celtics outscored the Heat in the fourth quarter, 31-22, with Hero out of the game. Tonight's Game 4 will be seen live right here on KSAT 12.
And I just researched this. Of the 11 guys we have in placing that came early, 1 guy has an NIL deal.
Really?
Yes.
Just 1?
Just 1. So all these stories you're hearing are complete lies.
Our exclusive interview with the head coach of Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher, is making national news. Jimbo Fisher revealed that of the 11 early signees in the best recruiting class of 2022, only 1 has a name, image, and likeness deal, refuting Alabama's Nick Saban's claim that the Aggies bought every player in their top recruiting class. That is certainly making the rounds today.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Greg.
You got it.
We'll be right back.
Just some light rain making things damp around San Antonio, but a fairly potent storm is moving northeast into the Floresville-Poth area. It'll be there within the next 20 minutes or so. Now, looking ahead to the forecast for the remainder of the evening, we're going to be having a few storms this tonight and again on Tuesday night, then hot over Memorial Day weekend.
Thanks for watching.
See you here at 6.